Hey guys, we're live. Welcome to the Saturday night webinar. So this is 100x Crypto Academy webinar. So hope you guys are having a good day. And yeah, we do these every Sunday. Have a quick chat and talk of things about crypto and kind of like everything else that's going on in between. Um, yeah, I haven't been doing much. I've just been pretty much gardening and stuff. I've had a bit of a relapse on the flu, not the flu, the asthma. So I've been kind of It's only been the last couple of days that it's been, kind of harder to breathe. But I've been getting out there walking. After this, I'll get out there and have a walk because it doesn't get dark till 7 o'clock or something. But yeah, every time I go for a walk, I always feel better. I can when I go to sleep, I can just breathe a lot better. But other than that, I've just been uh, actually doing a lot of stuff in the gardening, ordering. I ordered these seeds from Lazada. It's like a eBay, Amazon kind of thing, and they're like seeds for bananas. And they're like, so I want to grow these bananas. And everything's on YouTube, guys. Everything is on YouTube. So if you're into hobbies or you want to do something, just go to YouTube, and I guarantee there's a video on it. So I go to YouTube, check it out, and the thing with these dwarf bananas is you can grow them, and they'll give you like a full bunch of bananas, which is you know pretty big, but they're only dwarf, so they're only going to grow probably 6 foot high. And you can grow them in a pretty big pot. It has to be a big pot, but they grow better in the ground. But you can grow them in the pot. So yeah, I'm looking on YouTube and stuff, and they're like the perfect banana if you like bananas, but you don't want to bust your ring and get on a ladder, especially when you got to get 10, 12 foot in the air because bananas grow really high. And the older you get, you just don't want to be getting on a ladder, right? Not when you're our age, because once you fall over and you do your hip or you bust your leg, it's going to be pain for months on end, if not for the rest of your life. So these dwarf bananas are perfect for anyone that wants to grow bananas in basically at your home. So I bought these seeds. I'm starting to germinate the seeds, and obviously it's not the best way to go because it's going to take ages for this thing to go into a tree from a seed. But it's just a bit of an experiment. So yeah, once I get these bananas going, which is probably going to take a couple of years, I just want to do the whole process and see if I can grow them. So it'll be a couple of years before I even see, before it's even a couple of foot high. That's how long it takes to grow. If you're going to get it from a seed, it's not the best way. So yeah, I've just been doing that. What about yourself, Garth?
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think I have anything exciting like that. Mine's been pretty quiet this week. Ooh, what's
They're
that?
the banana seeds.
Oh, they're the seeds.
They're the banana seeds. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Wonder if you could do them hydroponically, like in a grow tent or something.
Probably. I mean, bananas
You have
are
big enough space.
grass, and you can actually eat in Thailand. They eat a lot of You can eat the core of the banana, and you can also eat the flower. The thing that flower was the
Yep.
bit at the end that looks like a cone.
Yep.
You can actually cut that up and put it in pumpkin. Put it in pumpkin soup, curry soup with the flavor.
Okay.
Oh, look it up, research it. It's got really good health properties in that flour, and then put it with some pumpkin and like a spicy. Just Google Thai spicy recipe.
Yep.
Mate, it is divine, divine.
Cool. Yeah. Well, there's nothing been going on here. We had like I always talk about prices. The fuel prices magically went up. I don't know what happened, but they went from like $1.60 per liter for like, unleaded or whatever to like $2.20. And it lasted for like a week and then come back down to $1.60. It just blows my mind how I reckon they're just dodgy. I reckon they all just go, oh, we're going to make some money this week. Let's jack the price up and just cash in. And they all do it. And then they put the price down. And yet they say it's all related to the oil price, which is a load of crap because
oh,
you
yeah.
watch the oil prices, they're not that volatile or whatever. They don't change like that. So yeah, it's just bull crap. So they just
It's like a scam.
yeah, it's a scam. They got a big scam going, and so that was fascinating. So yeah, there was that. I mean, lucky I didn't have to buy any fuel, so it's not too bad. But I just noticed when I was driving past. I was trying to think what else has been happening in Australia. I don't know. I don't really follow the news too much, but I think we got some referendum coming up soon in the next few months, and then they're changing names to Aboriginal names all over the place. It's getting out of
Okay.
hand, to be honest. Yeah, pretty crazy. Like everyone's got their own beliefs in that, but they're just changing names. Like you probably know they changed Fraser Island. They changed its name.
What's
Yeah,
it called now?
I know. I don't even know how to say it. And now what they do on TV when in news articles, right? They're using Aboriginal names in the it's so hard. Like they said there was instead of saying there was a dingo attack on Fraser Island, right, last week where some lady got mauled. What they say is there was a something attack, and the word they use is the dingo in Aboriginal word. It's the Aboriginal word for dingo. I don't know what it is, right? It's like, I don't know. It starts with K. But they put that, right? And like everyone's like, I don't even know if people actually know what it is. Like maybe even I don't know. And then they've changed the name of the dingo to the Aboriginal name. And then Fraser's Island is a different name now. And so they've used two Aboriginal names in this sentence on the news. And it's like, what the hell are they talking about? And then they've gone crazy. Now what they're doing is, at the airport, they're changing.
Agari.
They change.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you'll see it if you Google it, right? You'll see the crazy. Yeah, and then what they're doing now is, at the airport, if you get on a plane and you're thinking you come to Brisbane, right? Let's say from Townsville. Well, instead of it saying Brisbane, it says the Aboriginal name for Brisbane.
But why
on the board? I don't know. There's some agenda there. It's probably related to, I don't know, this referendum and politics. I don't know, but I tell you, it's crazy when you get on a plane and you're thinking you're going to Brisbane, but then you come up with this other name and you don't even know what it is. Like it's got out of hand. But some people say it's there's a lot more deeper issues. I won't go into them now, but yeah, that's what's been going on, and so that's interesting. And I don't really know what else is happening. There's probably stuff going else out there, but I haven't really. When it's really bad, you hear about it.
To me, I never knew about that.
Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy now. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think the only other thing I know is Victoria. In Victoria, they were trying to get the Olympics. I don't know, some Olympics in the future.
They failed.
Yeah, but what happened is they went over budget on it by billions of dollars, and then they went, "Oh, okay, we're going to cancel it. We're not going to do it now." So, yeah, that's caused some dramas down there. So I don't know. I assume they lost all that money. Yeah, it's just crazy. And there's also that's the other news I have. There's these war games off the coast up north somewhere. They got like warships, American warships. All of the countries are doing war games, and then the news was reporting that a Chinese spy ship is just in the water, checking in on them. So it's like it's always about creating conflict, and it's fascinating. Just listen. Well, not that I don't really listen to news. They force it down your throat because they push it into YouTube and into Facebook, even if you don't watch the news. It's interesting.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, I made a post on Facebook, and it was just like, it's so true. All this shit that's coming at you 100 miles per hour. I mean, in America, it's even crazier. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. They're literally just fighting each other, literally. And the gun laws aren't helping. They're literally killing each other. And there's so many of these movements, and it's all just absolutely bullshit. It's just old things that happened in the past, and now they put a new label on it. So then now they can, I don't know, do what they want to do, create a movement, collect some money, get some supporters to push an agenda
Yep.
that is old. It's just the usual, Anyway,
Hmm.
long story short, I mean, all this stuff is going to happen regardless, and it's just, to be honest, the less time you can spend on social media, the better. The only time you should be spending social time, and this is my opinion, the only time you should be spending time on our social media is if you're going to be doing like stuff that's productive, like product research or
Setting
anything
up
that's kind of business.
advertising.
Yeah, anything that's business related.
Yeah.
That's it. But just actually spend your time on this rubbish, and the whole time, right? It's not like that. It's not like a free world. No, Facebook and Google is actually monitoring what you're doing right online and taking that data of the past to serve you up ads to then influence you to then appease their
Buy stuff.
advertisers. Yeah.
Yep.
And then they can make more money. So by just going to the platform every single time, you're giving a reason for Facebook to make money off your ass and Google, And it's not
100%.
like there's a democracy or it's like you can turn all this shit off. No, you can't, because I mean you can to a certain degree, but they're still going to monetize all your activity and make money off you. It should be almost illegal, but anyway. So the whole point of this is it is distracting you from kind of like what you should be doing. And it's like anything, you can be really anal about it, or you can just be like a full-on Bible basher about it. Like, these Bible bashers, right? They just get into it, right? And then God will save you, And I guess you got to take something away from it. And the thing is, they're dedicated. Okay, they're dedicated to a cause, to God.
Yep.
And even though, look, I'm not into it, but I can understand why they're doing it, because they believe in what they believe, right? So that's what they believe. I'm not gonna bash them. At least they believe in something, but but the thing is, this is what you got to do. You got to believe in something, for it to actually materialize. You got to pursue it. You got to be consistent. You got to block out all the other shit, and that's the only way you're going to find success with it. And that's like with Bitcoin, right?
Yeah.
You've just got to block out all the bullshit and just pursue it until, because Bitcoin is going to be like, when I look at it, people are saying, "Oh, it's going to do this and that," but in my opinion, it's going to be well over $1 million. That's just my opinion, and it's going to, and I think it's going to be way more than that in the future. But right now it seems unrealistic because we're so far from it. But it's like anything, if you believe in something, you got to follow it through, and even if you're wrong, it doesn't matter, because at least you followed through on it, right? Don't worry about what other people think, because if you kind of like spend your whole life worried about what other people think, you've wasted your life. So the good news is, though, there is some good news. Celsius. Now this guy, right? So I found a video on Coin Bureau, right? So Coin Bureau, look, take this guy with a grain of salt, because did you know that he's just a paid actor? Did you know that?
Really?
Yes, he's a paid actor. This is not his YouTube channel.
Know that.
Go and watch CoffeeZilla.
So this is just a paid actor.
He's a paid actor. He's a paid actor. Once I found out about that, I just like, I take his stuff with a grain of salt, because the stuff he says is really good, right? He's got a whole team doing this, and it's not him that's running the show. There's a couple of big guys behind Coin Bureau with the money, with millions of dollars to get this channel to where it is. I don't know where. It's probably like a whole corporate structure to it. But he's a paid actor, right? But obviously he knows about but he's employed by someone to get on YouTube and talk about
It's not his own personal channel.
It's not his own personal channel. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. So
well, okay, sorry, this is just interesting.
Yeah, he's it's not actually him. But anyway, he does have some good content. And obviously the breakdown he did with Celsius. All right. Now, obviously, I think Celsius started off well in the beginning, but in this video, he breaks it down, like right down, which would have taken hours of research, hence why they have a team doing the research, and he's just a talking head.
Yeah.
But basically, watch this video, and that was just fraud after fraud after fraud. And basically, every time that he would tell Mashinsky, every time he would tell the his followers and the people that were held, that had got literally tens and thousands, if not millions, in Cell Token, every time he'd say, you just got to hold, we're in this together, he would actually be selling. He actually already sold that day, and then he because they had they matched up these wallets with his because he'd do these weekly webinars. It was all public, so then they could figure out, all the evidence was there, and he basically dumped like heaps of like $60,000 or $90,000 worth of sell one time, and then literally that same afternoon he got on and did the webinar and said hold.
Yeah.
So he was just, and he did this multiple times. Anyway, long story short, with the charges up against him, he's looking at like fraud, and then he's looking at manipulation with the coin. 115 years, but he won't do 115. He'll probably do he might do 20 or less. Maybe he might be lucky, have a good lawyer, 10 years. But anyway, I reckon probably between 10 to 20 years. So he's going to do like big time in the lockhouse, which is great news.
Yeah.
So watch that video. I posted it, or just go to Coin Bureau, and you can watch that video. It's a good breakdown, which is awesome to know. Now, there's a couple of other things too. I know you guys kind of like looking for other ways to which one is it? That one there. I know you guys are looking for other ways to supplement your income, and a lot of people have asked about this. Other people have, what do you think about crypto bots, trading bots, and stuff like that? Because it all kind of like makes sense. It all kind of like, if you had a bot, and the big buzzword now is AI, you can have an AI trading bot that's gonna do the crypto trading for you, right? Look, I just want to tell you this, right? If there was a AI trading bot out there that was really high end and had all the data, and then it was traded crypto trading bot, trust me, it would not be public, and you wouldn't be you wouldn't be able to get your hands on it for $24.99 or whatever. Okay, just don't believe in that. If they had that and they'd spend millions of dollars on some crypto trading bot AI, they wouldn't even be sharing it. There's no way they'd be sharing it, right? So there is no. It's just all in my opinion, crap. Now, trading bots is not new, but really it's just they're trying to automate certain tasks that were done manually before using some sort of algorithm or something. And crypto trading, in my opinion, does work. But what they're trying to sell you on is, you're going to make all this money, with a little bit of money, and you don't have to do any work. That's basically the whole thing about when people try to sell you this trading bots, or if it's like some MLM scam. Now, I'm not going to even go there. I'm going to assume this is like a legit trading bot. Now, Binance has their own trading bot, and so does KuCoin. You don't need this Bitsgap, right? So anyway, I did some research into this and did watch some videos, and obviously I haven't done it yet, and I probably won't. But based off kind of like the videos that I watched, you can make anything from it, just and it depends on the market and how well this does. You can make anywhere from say 7 to 5% to 2% a month, right? So if you get there's guys that say, oh, I made 30% in a week. Yeah, you can do that. Is it sustainable? No. Is it a fluke? Probably. Can you repeat those results consistently? No. 30% a week. You cannot do it consistently. So, I watched a few videos and I'm thinking 2% or 3% a month is kind of like the norm. And don't get me wrong, that's pretty good money when you think about it, considering what the banks pay, right? But then when you come to something like this, right, people are trying to sell you this BitsGap. They're getting, this thing's costs $23 a month. Now, if you're making, now people don't realize this, but if you're making 2% a month, you're not even covering your monthly, okay? You're not even covering you're making no money because you got to pay $23 a month, right? So if you have $1,000 and you're trading with $1,000 to 2%, you're just going to cover or barely cover your monthly. So you're going to be trading with like 5,000 or 10,000 a month to make this thing worth it, right? And what they're trying to do is they're trying to shove this thing down your throat because they get a commission fee. So you'll see YouTubers, I made this, I made that. And then, which is fine, right? But they don't tell you the whole truth. They try to make it out that you're going to make all this money fast because that's basically how this industry works. The make money online industry works. That's it, they're going to make 30% off your ass. And if they can get, 100 people coming on the YouTube channel and signing up to this thing, I just give it a go, 7-day trial. That's what they want, right? 7-day trial. Oh, no credit card needed, and they're going to give you this support, which is fine. But let's just know that this stuff does work, but you've got to put the time. It's not just like turn it on and Bob's your uncle. You're going to make all this money. It doesn't work that way, but that's what people are thinking. You got to understand the actual algorithm, how it works, or you can customize your own algorithm. And then you got to put the time in like anything else. And then you got to invest the money to put your time in. And then you got to be realistic about your returns. You're not going to get rich overnight. Like you're not going to put down $100 and then turn it into 10,000 next month. It's just not going to happen. But this is what people are thinking. So if you're thinking about trading bots, have a go at it. Think what if you're into that sort of stuff, and I believe it does work, but you got to be realistic with the returns, But check it out. If you're going to have a go at it, you've been doing trading bots for a while, I don't know. Let me know. Comment or go comment in the Discord. I know you've been playing around with trading bots in the past. What's your experience with it, Garth?
Well, I think when I did my research, I'll give you some of the other trading bots, right, that are quite well known. So there's 3Commas, there's Mizar, CoinRule, Bots, of course, the one you talk about, which is BitsGap, Crypto Hopper, Altrady, Trade Santa, and Signally. There's quite a few. So it's not nothing new. They've been around, and what they do is they're designed for executing, I suppose, automated trading. And you would have noticed on that BitsGap, they had DCA. One of the bots was a grid bot and a DCA. So grid bots are really simple. And what happens is if you have 100 people and so that's a grid bot, right? If you had 100 people trading different things, okay, what would happen is you might have out of those 100, 5 people that do well last week using a particular grid bot, right? And then what happens is let's say you can copy and use someone else's grid bot. So then what happens is everyone uses that grid bot and next week it's not profitable. Okay. And it's partly because now you've got 95 people now doing exactly the same strategy as what was working last week, but now it's not working because there's 95 people doing it. This is the nature of trading. The more people that do exactly the same strategy, right, it means there's less money in it. It's like a marketplace where you've got, you've got so many suppliers and so many people that are buying from it, and then all of a sudden, if you stack the numbers the wrong way, then there's no money to be made, kind of thing. So that's what you've got to be careful of these things. Now, if you want to do something simple like DCA, right, that makes sense because you might say, oh, I want to DCA Bitcoin every week. But the truth is you don't need to pay $25 for that. You can just go to Binance and get DCA. Binance has that tool. KuCoin has a tool. Most of the platforms that allow you to buy crypto have a DCAing tool built into them. So there's actually no brainer. Yeah. Unless you're trying to do crazy portfolio strategies, maybe rebalancing portfolios, but you literally have to have more than 10,000 or more to worth doing it, because every time you got to pay that monthly, and not only that, you got to pay for your transaction fees every time it happens. And also, what they don't talk about is these things work great until the API goes down. Now, there was a company that just closed down recently. Can't remember the name, to be honest. And I actually paid money to use it, and I had bots, and it was fantastic. But once I realized how it worked, and it literally was that it'll work for a little while, and then that strategy will stop working. It'll work while the market's doing a certain thing, and as soon as the market changes, that little profitable strategy will be no good. It's like at the moment, Bitcoin is literally trading between 30K and 31K. And literally every time it gets to 31K, if you went short, you'd make money. Every time it hit 30K, you went long, you'd be making money. And you can do that with these grid bots. So if you look at the last month, you'd be like winning, you'd have a huge success rate. But it's going to snap out of that, right? And perhaps go into a trend. And when that happens, that whole strategy is gone. So these things do work, but the problem is they nothing ever stays the same for long enough. And people see other people successful at it, and they think I can be too. But these things, it's all doesn't stay the same very long. That's all I can say. So if you experience something great for a month or a few weeks, that could be it. Like, that's how it works. But at the same time, they don't care because they're making that monthly off you. So it's just a tool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really see the big advantage of it. That's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, the tools you could use are in KuCoin and Binance anyway. And it's like it's a perfect world. It's like sign up to this. You got small amount of money. There's no work, education, or learning curve. You just switch this thing on, and all of a sudden you're making all this money passively. This is what they're selling, and this is what some of them are selling. Not saying this is what Bitsgap is selling, but this is what happens when you go on YouTube, because they want you to sign. Oh, just sign up for free trial. So they're trying to get you on that affiliate link because they're getting 30%. Whether that's where the money is, because that they get paid either way. Whether you lose or win, they get paid.
Yeah,
and if they can get people on that, they can just string you along and say, it's just a bad market. Yeah, you're right. I'll stick with this. I'll get a annual membership. No, you're the expert. You make the YouTube videos. So this thing happens. So yeah, if you can, and again, if there was some highly advanced AI bot out there that was trading crypto, trust me, it wouldn't be available for $30 a month. You can't be as gullible, guys. So that's that. All right. So, have a go at it. if you want, let us know your results. But I'm pretty sure Gar's pretty much spot on because you've had a lot of experience with trading and
yeah,
that sort of stuff in the
months,
past.
yeah, with that other software. And it's the same thing. Like I just saw, like the main thing is they're like saying that the numbers speak for themselves, where they're saying it's 1 point something% per month, right? But what that is the average. It's the average.
That's right.
And what happens is there's people that do really well and there's people that do really bad, and the average is 1%. But the problem is that average that they're saying, if you were to curve it out and to see, they're not saying everyone's getting 1%. It could be that 80% or 90% of the people are actually losing money, and there's only maybe 5 to 10% of the people that are actually getting that 1%. And then next month, it's a new group of people. That's the part they don't mention, and it's just a little play on words. They don't care because they're selling a monthly thing. So yeah, I mean, look, it's a tool, great. I'm sure they've done a lot of work to make it work, but that's because there's a lot of competition in that area. Yeah, I'd save your pennies and just buy more Bitcoin with it, or more level 2s, level 1s, whatever we talk about all the time.
Yeah, look, that's the safest way. Box Mining did do a good tutorial on this VK. It's just another. It's like a layer 2 project. It's like a free. Could be potentially a free airdrop, right? Because there's tons of these airdrops going at the moment. To get this thing working, you just need to add your follow these steps. I posted this in the airdrops, okay, under Ethereum chat. And basically, what you do is you just log into your MetaMask. You just, all the links are here, and Box Mining is like a legit, like he's somewhat legit, although he did promote some shady stuff in the past, but he's somewhat legit. He's somewhat legit. So his content is pretty good. Yeah, that's what he did. Yeah, he was promoting Genesis Mining, and then when Genesis Mining turned off,
I remember that.
things, he took down his Genesis Mining videos. That's what I'm like, dude. Why did you take your Genesis Mining videos down? I commented, I just leave it. You know what I mean? Just own up to it. Don't just try to hide it. Anyway, so I've been following this guy for a long time. Chainlist, just go to Chainlist. When you go to chainlist.org, you can just add this to your MetaMask, click a button, you can add this network. And then all you do is, to make it work, you've got to swap some Ethereum over. And you got a real Ethereum, okay? You're probably going to, I did about $10 worth. $10 potentially. It's like, yeah, okay, I can always bridge it back over. But then, by the time I did all the transactions, I've probably already used most of that $10. I think I've got like $1 left. Like, it is what it is. $10. I could potentially get whatever. I'm not going to lose sleep over it. But basically, you bridge your real Ethereum over to this new network here, right? And once you bridge it over, it'll show up as Ethereum, which is your gas on ZK EVM. And then he says to go and interact with all these QuickSwap, Coconut Swap. QuickSwap was really kind of, although QuickSwap's been around for a long time, it just really finicky. Anyway, for doing it for some reason. Coconut Swap, I think that worked once. Dove Swap was the one that was really good. This one worked perfectly. So yeah, maybe I was trying to. So what I did was, once I had the Ethereum, then I would just go on these ones and then bridge, not bridge swap. Yep. I'd go like from Ethereum to like USDC, and then I'd go back to Coconut, and then I'd go like from USDC back to Ethereum. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do a transaction on these multiple platforms, just to show that I'm interacting on their network.
Yeah,
Mantis worked as well. Some of them worked and some of them didn't work. Maybe it was the liquidity. But yeah, I had a bit of a play around. The swap on this worked. So yeah, I just played around with it, and then basically $8 to $10 up, and then who knows when this thing comes out, maybe I might get an airdrop. If it's $50, it's $50. It's more than I got. If it's $1,000, it's $1,000. If it's 5,000, it's 5,000. I don't know. I'm not basically going to lose any sleep over it. But these airdrops, you just don't know. There's tons of these airdrops going around, and we've already mentioned them before. There's Zero Layer, there's Linear. This one's a big one. ZK Sync. I've done all of these except for I've done a Linear as well. I think so. I would definitely play around with these, and most of them would be like bridge some ETH over. It would be the exact same thing. Bridge some ETH over to the either get some testnet ETH or some real ETH. And if they've got their mainnet running, just bridge them ETH over and then play around on their swap or the DEX or whatever, right? That's basically going to be it. But I think the big ones are going to be ZK Sync, Linear, Layer Zero, and this ZK EVM Matic. And there's a few other too, but there's basically it's like airdrop season, and there's like tons of airdrops happening. So you never know, right? You do enough of them, maybe you could get lucky, like we did with Uniswap. That was a $1,200 airdrop. Then there was a few others. Optimism, people got 2K. Some people got 100K. And then there was another one, Arbitrum. Those ones are real big for people, and people made a lot of money with them. So these ones could be the same, maybe. You just don't know. So it's free money. You're just probably going to have to spend some money on gas. Some of them don't even have needed that gas if they're still on the testnet. You can just get the testnet token. So, yeah, it's kind of like pain in the ass to do it, but you never know, guys. You could get lucky. And then you just go on Twitter. Just go on Twitter and you just see what people made with those Uniswap. I remember Uniswap going back, several years ago. When I logged in and I saw like 400 uni, I was like, oh, this is great. An extra $1,200 or $2,000 or whatever it was. So it can happen. We'll see. But airdrops are a good way to get free money. But obviously you have to, play around with it, and you might get lucky. So that's all I wanted to talk about that.
Cool. And I can add if you want to what you just said. I'll quickly share my screen. Only take a sec, and then get back to what you were saying. I'll just share it now. Okay, can you see it? Yeah. So if you go to defilama.com/airdrops, these are the tokenless protocols that may airdrop, and it tells you what category they're in, what's their TVL, if they've raised money, when they were listed. And it just means they don't have a token yet. And there's quite a few. Like in this list, I scroll down the list. There's literally, I don't know, we're up to 600. Yeah, 682. So literally there's 682 there. But, some are pretty big. Like if you have a look at the TVL, if we click the TVL, this one here, this bridge, 4.82 million. And they've got no token yet. Or what else is there? Have a look at Portal. It's a bridge, no token. A year ago, raised 8 million. What else is there? Ondo Finance. Well, here's one. Never heard of it. EI Gen Layer, liquid staking, 87 million TVL, and they got 50 million in funding a month ago. Now, that could be interesting. Okay, well, let's check this one out. I always like finding this stuff, and then I'll finish up. But maybe it's called EI. Awesome. Yeah, never heard of it. Okay, pretty crazy there. Stake ETH. Okay, so it's a staking platform for liquid staking. Okay, great. It's only just really started, but the key thing is that they raised $50 million, right? So that means they got a real product. It's going to happen, right? So it's just a matter of time before the money flows into it, and there's a very high chance, I'm just thinking high chance, that they are going to have a token. There you go. That's my bet. So I'll link that in there for anyone that wants to have a look at it. But you can have a look through the list. There's plenty to choose from. Just another thing for you
Yeah, just post that into Ethereum.
in the Ethereum chat.
Yeah.
Yep, man.
I mean,
Done.
like that. A while ago, probably about a couple of months ago, I was on Twitter, and there was like this post. People were talking about this post that one guy basically made $1 million from airdrops. And I'm not trying to sugarcoat it or anything, but it does happen, and literally, I mean, I can't think, unless from shitcoins. I think shitcoin's probably another one. But with shitcoins, you kind of like got to buy the coin. With airdrops, you just got to buy gas. Some of them don't even require buying gas. It's like, so it's like literally, if you just do all the airdrops that all come out, just go on that DeFi Llama list, as well as scan Twitter. And there was a link to that lady that does the thing on Twitter. I think I posted it in. She's awesome. What she does is she says, "Hey, this is an airdrop," and then in her, because Twitter's like it only allows you to do one post. So in her comments, then she says, "Step 1, this is what you got to do," and then every comment after is like step 1, step 2. So she literally just maps it out exactly what you got to do, and she does all the big. I can't remember her name. I'll see if I can find it again, and I'll post it in the Discord. But I follow her, and she's like so good, because it's just for newbies. It just tells you every single step. And if you just do those airdrops, it takes some time, but eventually you're going to hit one or two of them, and you're going to make some money. And that's exactly what this guy did. That became, I think he made $1 million from airdrops. It was from just doing those airdrops because he didn't have any money. So it does happen, guys. It does happen. Now, just quickly, look, the market at the moment, okay, so we had this huge thing with XRP. The price of that only went up because of, they didn't get, I don't know who they paid, but they said that it wasn't security. So they're kind of like, in the, that's why it pumped. XRP has never pumped this hard, ever. Only the time they went to $3, that's it. But, it's been 5 or 6 years from it doing nothing. I sold in my XRP in 2017 or 2018, and it was 40 cents. And then I did a post on Facebook, like this is before the pump. I said, it's kind of fun fact. It's been 6 years since XRP, and at the time it was like 46 cents or something. Fun fact, it's been 6 years since I sold my XRP, and for 45 or 46 cents. And wow, today it's 45, 46 cents. So what's it done in 6 years? Nothing. I don't like XRP because it goes everything against what Bitcoin is, what crypto should be for. Decentralized, money for the people. This thing is made for banks. And here's the dumbest thing about it. You don't even need any XRP for it to operate. Like, they've created this whole thing with XRP to transfer money digitally, instantly. But it doesn't use any XRP for it to run. This is the dumbest thing about it. So what's holding it up? What is holding this thing up? It's just a whole bunch of people buying it, believing in the dream. Okay, there's probably some new developments that are coming, but they just kept on printing. It's like they've created this perfect money machine, just like the Federal Reserve. They can just keep on printing XRP. I mean, the volume on the supply on this thing's like 100 billion or something. I think it's like 100 trillion, 100 billion. No, it's 100 trillion. It's some stupid amount, right? And I get people messaging me saying, "Oh, it's going to trump Bitcoin." Obviously, they don't know what they're talking about, right? The volume on the maximum supply on this is too many zeros. I can't even figure out, and there's nothing holding this thing up, and um, it's not even deflationary. So, yeah, and it's everything that Bitcoin is meant to be in crypto. It's so I know there's people out there that like XRP and that invest in it. Great, that's great. But just do some more research, look into it, and if you want to support a coin that was created for bankers by who knows invested in it, big, because they're losing control, right? The fiat is now that they understand that they're losing control. So if you want to support them, great. But I think it's just it's not the sort of thing you should be doing if you want to further crypto.
Well, I want to add, while you were doing that, I just did some quick research on Ripple just to get you some numbers. Take a stab at how much XRP is held by the company.
Probably 30%. I don't know.
50%.
So
in Q3 of 2022, it said Ripple's holdings are below 50% of total outstanding supply for the first time.
This thing is freaking centralized, right? This is what people don't understand. This is centralized. And when Ripple first was created, something like 6 months into it, the CEO of Ripple said he was going to, he had this bag of XRP that was supposed to be burnt, all right? But he didn't burn it. He sold it. I don't know whether it's the same CEO now or he's left, but that's what the CEO did. He dumped XRP on everyone and he got rich, right? And they're like, oh, yeah. And when I found out about that, I'm just like, there's no way I'm ever going to get involved in this. I sold my XRP at 40,000 at the time, and that was it. So,
well,
that's
Vitalik,
50%.
Vitalik in an interview said that Ripple was still completely centralized. And XRP apparently has still not apologized for claiming that Bitcoin and Ethereum were Chinese controlled. So, like this has been going on since 2012. Like the stories about the people involved, I mean, we've probably forgotten all of them, but it's just fascinating. I mean, they say that Ripple only controls 4 out of the 130 validators. But, if they hold 50% of the tokens of supply, they've got complete control of the market. So, yeah, I mean, that's why we never really got into it, because it was like a scam from the beginning, and it's just kept on going, really.
I mean, anyone that gets involved in XRP that really understands what you just said, Garth. They probably don't, but you're really you're playing with matches. That's what you're doing, because you're going to get burnt. They can dump anytime. They can just make some bullshit excuse, which all these centralized entities do. It's not like Bitcoin. It's decentralized. XRP is centralized, right? And they can say and make up anything they want to make an excuse for them to I need a new limo, a new Ferrari, or a new Lamborghini, or I need a new, $15 million house. And my wife wants a new $15 million house in Miami. They can just say anything they want. There's nothing you can do because they have control of those tokens, and they can dump on the market. And at the moment, XRP is at like 15. It's getting bigger and bigger because people invest in it, pushing the volume market cap up, which is something like 45 billion. I think it's moved up it's now dropped down again. There's 38 billion, right? Market cap. So now people are saying, it's going to trump Ethereum and trump Bitcoin. I'm just like, dude, you have no clue. So that's just my thoughts on XRP. It's just, it should not be there, but obviously people, for some reason, trust them. This is the thing. You're trusting a centralized. I mean, are people stupid or what? Like, come on. Let's see. Okay, let's go back and let's look at something that's centralized. And Luna. FTX. Celsius. are there any? Do I need to go any further? These were centralized, and what happened? They dumped on the people. They manipulated the coin, and they just bullshit and lied and created more FTX out of thin air and borrowed against that. So this is what happens when you have a centralized entity like XRP, right? That's the thing with Bitcoin. It's decentralized. You can't screw with anything. It's just the protocol, and it just keeps on working and working. So I don't know what is with these people that have. Look, there's a guy on Facebook, and like I've been mates with him for a long time, and he's like talking about XRP, and I'm just like, okay, he's obviously into it. Oh, it's my biggest bag, NG. It's my biggest bag, and I'm just like, you got rocks in your head or what? What have I been saying for the last 6-7 years? Oh, it's my biggest bag. I'm like, okay, I understand what you're going. I think you're making a mistake, but I respect what you're saying. Best of luck. He's still a mate. I'm not going to defriend him or anything because he doesn't like what I like. But I just think he's making a big mistake, So anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. But the rest of the market, Bitcoin's down. It's under 29. It's under 30. So it's great for whatever reason,
Yeah, I'm sure it'll pump some random day this week about 1K. So
yeah. Yeah, so look, it always does. It went up to 131 plus something. So it's just an opportunity to buy more and and just play the long game with it. Just keep on accumulating with Bitcoin when you can. Obviously, everyone's situation is different. But obviously you're not going to make all your money with Bitcoin. You're not going to make your massive profits with Bitcoin because Bitcoin's just going to be a long-term thing. Where you're going to make your more money and the safest money, the safest way you're going to do it is with Bitcoin, sorry. But where you're going to make more money and still be relatively safe is with these smaller cap blockchains, either layer 2s or layer 1s, that have enough volume, that have been around for long enough, that have credibility, they've got development teams, they're still expanding and they're still growing, and these are, in my opinion, pretty solid. Polygon, I don't know what Litecoin's doing, but it's still hanging around. I haven't really looked into what they're developing. They haven't really developed much, but it's still around, and I'm still bullish on Litecoin. I think it's at all-time highs. Bitcoin Cash, whatever the politics, I'm still holding Bitcoin Cash. The only reason why I'm doing it, I bought some the other day, and the reason why is because when it pumps, I sell it, and then I'll go and buy Bitcoin. So I'm just using it as a means of where I hold some, and then when it pumps, I'll sell it. That's the only reason why I hold it. So that's a good way of maybe just not necessarily trading it. Where you're going to try to predict where it goes up and down. Just hold it a little bit of it, and when it pumps, sell it. Obviously, as long as you're selling it for more than you bought it for. Avalanche is another one. I think it's going to go well. I'm talking about the next bull run, and also look out for what we talked about. Arbitrum. Okay, so Arbitrum's got the most volume. It's got more volume than Polygon, right? And it's down at the moment. It's like $1. It was like under $1. Now it's like $1.24. These are going to pump. Even near protocol and Optimism. Maybe these other ones too. You could just keep on going on and on. But I'm just trying to mention the layers, Stacks as well. Okay, because that's like Stacks is what's going on with the Bitcoin ordinals. Okay, so you could just go on and on, Phantom, if you're into that. But these are going to pump. Whatever you think, they're going to pump the next bull run. So that's what I'm saying. Buy some of these long term. Even Stellar Lumens, this is one that I'm still bullish on. And then you could just go down the line. Radex, you go to Radex, you go to Render, you could just keep on going on and on. But you got to kind of like draw a line. But Bitcoin SUV, I hate it. It's gonna pump. But that's what I'm saying. Just you can get into this lower cap, smaller cap layer ones and layer twos, which will pump hard in the next bull run, and then take that money and then just flip it back into Bitcoin. That's what I think. And you could argue you could do this with play to earn. You could do this metaverse. I personally wouldn't. Okay, I just think NFTs, metaverse, play to earn. I just think that's rubbish. I think it's just it's just a reoccurring thing of history with these tulips. Back in the day, it was tulips. In the 1900s, people were selling tulips. Everyone started buying tulips, and then the price crashed. So you can, just Google it, the tulips. That's what NFTs are. That's what play to earn games, move to earn, anything else, earn, and metaverse. I think all these are tulip fads. NFTs will be around in some capacity, but I don't know if they're going to be. I don't see them being around. They're not going to be like a fad, but they're not just. They're kind of like NFTs need to be with something else for them to be successful. They're like an add-on.
Yeah,
they're not
they
like
don't seem to really have value by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, because they're just held up by a bunch of people that are going to believe in some stupid artwork that you could have got done on Fiverr, literally. So all these are just tulips, all right? The real things that are going to be around for the next 5 to 10 years are what we've always talked about. They are the infrastructure coins, layers, different layers, 1, 2, or just independent blockchains that do something different, bring some added value to crypto, something new and innovative. And they're constantly developing, and they're constantly webbing out and doing partnerships with other projects to then increase the volume, liquidity on their network. That's the ones that are going to be around for the next 5 or 10 years. And to check all this stuff, you can, like Garth said, you can just use DeFi Llama. That's an amazing website. It gives you all this data for free, pretty much. Is there a paid version of DeFi Llama, or is it just a free thing?
I don't know. I've never saw a
you don't even need to pay anything, to be honest.
I don't even know where. I think they make their money from. Oh, they got a donate button. That's it. I reckon they must sell the data through their API to other businesses and other projects, right, and they must pay DeFi Llama. I'm guessing. I can't see it there. I don't know. But
they've got API docs.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really.
Yeah, they've got donate buttons. So
that's about it.
Yeah. So
while you were talking, I did a quick. I wanted to also state too that how like Bitcoin's at 30K right now. We know it's going to go up, but let's pretend that Bitcoin stayed at 30K. All right, think of this. In 1913, the US dollar has lost 96% of its value. So even if you take like the 1994 inflation rate of 2.7%, the dollar will lose half of its purchasing power by 2022. So that's already gone. So this is just how crazy of value the US dollar has lost in. Now you might think, 1932, that's a long time. But if you say the last 50 years, it's fallen by 86%. So, and then in 1972, $1 was a dollar, right? But by 2022, it was only worth 14 cents. So my point is, if you were just to swap your dollars continually for Bitcoin, what would happen is the dollar would lose its value, right? And Bitcoin would actually increase in value by a lot. Like, if it's taken like that long, it just like you could extrapolate or whatever, but it's kind of like when you see those shit coins when they go up and then they just keep going down and down and down and down and down. You just see them all the time, right? And people say, "Oh yeah, it's going like drip, for example." I just saw the price of drip. It's still going down. Like now, it's in the cents, not in the dollars anymore. I mean,
People still making YouTube videos about it's going to come back.
Yeah, that's a different one.
The illusion.
I got nothing against Drip, but I just Drip Network. Yeah, that one. Look, it's the thing is the big dogs know how it works. It's 19 cents. Have a look at the chart. Look at Max chart, right? Max chart, just so people can see. It went to $150, right? Over $150. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see now it's at how many cents? Look at that. Look at that chart. So this is what the US dollar has basically been doing. And it's going to continue to do it, just like Drip, because they keep printing money. So the more money they print, and which they've been printing a lot, the value is going to be dropping faster. And so it's inevitable that value drop is going to make Bitcoin, even if Bitcoin stayed the same, which it can't, you would actually be better off holding your money in Bitcoin because of how much the dollar is devalued. And that's what people don't sort of get. That's why people talk about Bitcoin being like a hedge against the dollar. So it's all to do with the fact that basically the dollar is, I think it's 3 times like the inflation is like 3 times higher than that of Bitcoin. So it's actually, I think it is. Just having a quick look here. Yeah, I think it's like 3 times difference. I'm just having a quick look. Yeah, so it's just fascinating that just by holding it, even if it didn't go up in value, you would actually be having value because it didn't lose value because it wasn't inflated. It's really hard, like, because people don't really understand inflation, but after years and years of inflation, when you can't buy food or everything's gone up in value, but you still got the same amount of money that you come in every week, and this is what happens so slowly. It's like boiling that frog in a pot. That's what's been going on, and it's just continuing. But the US dollar has been printing so much lately that it's just got out of hand. So its value is dropped even further. And we may not have seen that reflected in Bitcoin, but at some stage, people are just gonna wake up and go, "Oh my God, we've lost so much value in this US dollar. We need to get into something else." And then they're just going to hit Bitcoin hard because there's not many Bitcoin.
That's right. I mean, Bitcoin's gone up like 10,000%. It's gone up an average of 150% a year since an inception. So that just goes to show you the amount of the numbers it's done. But talking about that printing money, I know this is kind of like off topic a bit, but kind of like every now and again I chime into this stuff. The US has given $40 billion to Ukraine war. So much. That's how much they've spent. So much given in arms. Now, I don't know how the hell they probably just pull the money. They're probably pulling the stocks out of and saying, "Oh, this is what." But they've spent, like, they can't just keep on taking stuff out of their inventory. That's cost them money, right? And then send it to Ukraine. $40 billion, right? You think that's a lot? Guess how much they spent in Iraq and Afghanistan in the first bit of the beginning, right?
I can't remember. What was it?
They spent $300 million a day in the Afghan.
So 3 days and it'd be $1 billion.
3 days, yeah.
Wow.
Right. So if you think the amount of money that they've already won, who knows where it's come from, that are spent for the war for Ukraine war. They were spending
Yeah.
300 million a day in Afghanistan. This is ridiculous. How the hell are they getting this money? So they're obviously printing it. So you can see that. I think I think it's like $2 trillion or something cost them for 20 years of war in
Wow.
in Afghanistan and Iraq. And now they got this other war. Like, what the hell's going on? They got these wars. Where does this money come from? They're printing it. They're printing this money.
Yeah.
So, because obviously they're making money. They say that the wars create, jobs. It's all the money, right? It's all, we can print more. So then now the companies are going to, make these arms, and that creates jobs, and it's just, oh my god. So this is the way they're kind of like can justify it, but it just goes to show you that at some point, this is all going to fall over, whether it's the war does it or whether it's something else. It's just not looking good for the US, and I just think it's just a matter of time. So we're kind of just like sitting waiting for the big pop, because it's going to come. I think it's going to come, hopefully sooner than later. So just keep on getting your Bitcoin. Just keep on hodling. There's only 21 million going around. And, there's already 19.3 or something already produced. So we've got a Bitcoin halving that's coming out next year, July sometime, I think, July or June or July or August, something anyway. But don't expect much because nothing really happens on the halvings. It's all just psychological for it to actually do something in the tokenomics. It's gotta like keep on producing less. It's going to become more scarce, and then that happens. That ripple effect happens, but it takes time. So generally 6 to 12 months. That's what I'm thinking. We might have a bull run either end of 2024 or 2025. We could see this bull run to 100 grand. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen, but I don't see it happening this year. There's still too much shit going on. Maybe next year, if not at the end of next year, 2024, 2025, I think we could see 100K. I don't know. That's just my thoughts. So, I mean, I wish I had a crystal ball. If I had a crystal ball, trust me, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys.
Yeah.
But anyway, we might call it a night. It's been a good session. We covered a lot. We've already been going for an hour, Garth.
I know, right? I know. It's always something leads to another. I just found out this new piece of information I have to share before we finish up. Yeah. So we're just talking about the United States, their national debt, which is in like $33 trillion, right? And if you compare it to other countries like Switzerland, its US debt to GDP ratio, it's only 2 times that of Switzerland, right? Compare it to Australia, it's 5 times, right? So that's like crazy. What else is there? Italy. Let's have a look at some of these other ones. Yeah, so it is off the charts. Like I think United States has the highest national debt in the world compared to any other country, I believe. So, and with the thing about so much debt, they can't repay the debt, so they keep on printing it, so it keeps on increasing it. So, it'll be interesting. I think it's just going to accelerate in the next couple of years, and we're going to see that in the price of Bitcoin for sure.
Honestly, we're so lucky because it's just going to be, the politicians are just going to screw this up as they always do. And something major is going to happen, and people are just going to be like, you know what, I got to get onto this Bitcoin, or I got to find alternative means to invest my money. And one of them is going to be digitally, and it's going to be Bitcoin. I mean, the people that are educated, that are rich, already got some of their wealth in Bitcoin. So that's going to be good for us. And Yeah, guaranteed they're going to screw it up. They always do.
Mm.
So yeah, get excited and keep hodling that Bitcoin. There's something else I was going to say. Well, I can't remember, but yeah, I think it's just gonna. It's all just gonna come. It's like anything. It's just gonna go bang, and then it's gonna be like, what the hell just happened? And then we could see this whoosh. We could see this massive rise in Bitcoin to levels
Yeah.
we've never even thought of or even could comprehend.
Yeah.
And it's all going to happen really quickly. But once it happens, it's just going to happen really quickly. And I think it's just going to be like people are just going to realize, and there's going to like, I need to buy some Bitcoin, and then the ones that don't, they're just gonna be left behind. They're just gonna be like, fuck, just missed an opportunity. But anyway, we'll see what happens. We'll be here. So yeah, thanks for coming on, Garth. You guys, there's always, this is live anyway, free for you guys. But obviously, if you want some more interaction, check out our Discord at 100xcryptoacademy.com. You can join for like as little as $5 a month, or you can get into Ethereum level for a little bit more. But I reckon it's worth just keeping in the loop, and like I said, just when you can, just buy some Bitcoin and just squirrel it away into your Trezor. And if you just do that consistently over time, you'll look back and go, oh wow, I got this Bitcoin that I never thought I had. And it's going to be worth a hell of a lot of money one day, and you're going to be happy. So just do that. But if you want to obviously chime into these live streams, we can every day, every Sunday without any cost. All right, guys. So thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you guys in Discord.
See you guys. Bye.
All right, guys. Catch you.